did you see one of the first things he did was host a dinner about the Antichrist?
Yeah. When he was in Argentina?
Yeah.
He's been doing that whole tour. That's so weird. I don't.
Antichrist dinners are his thing.
You can't do a tour on the Antichrist without people assuming that you're the Antichrist. Here's a short little New York Post clip about Peter moving to Argentina.
And if you look at a nuclear fallout map and another map which showed the range of Israel's missiles, you would move to a place like Argentina in the Southern Hemisphere or New Zealand, which, remember when Bezos and all these other people had different homes that they were, and their yachts were rigged up to go to New Zealand?
Yes.
So this shit's all connected. They know that this NDAA bill is probably going to be what triggers it. If you see what's in the bill, it's essentially an armament package for Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel. If we play clip 116, Ukraine on the ropes, and then you read the missiles that we're procuring, it's the same exact shit.
That's interesting. I had no idea. They tried to say he's a refugee from taxes, from wealth tax. That's hilarious. I mean, it's kind of funny. I can't.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. 116 is drone footage in Ukraine, I think.
No, it says 116 Ukraine on the ropes. It's an interview between Mario Nafal.
There's a report I saw today. I'm trying to get it now. I just messaged the team to send it to me.
Former CIA spoof.
Oh, I think I found it. This is it. So there was a report. Okay, there it is. According to a report, Ukraine has received additional PAC-3 interceptors and missiles for IRIS-T systems ahead of upcoming combined Russian missile and drone attack. Mm-hmm. So that's the attack that people have been talking about that will come in next 2 to 3 days. And it seems despite the rhetoric from the US, they've made exceptions unconfirmed and sent PAC-3s to Ukraine. Is that true? And do you think the US would continue their support of Ukraine? Like, how far will it go? How far will that support of Ukraine continue? It's been so many years. Every year we think it's going to end. We'll think there'll be, either a peace deal or something will happen.
Well, so let's look at the facts. What do the facts tell us? Is Ukraine receiving more money from the West or less? The answer is less. Is Ukraine receiving an unlimited supply of weapons of various calibers and quality? Or is it basically stuck in, I'll call it a 5-hour zone? Well, it's not expanding. It is, there's not a single measure that you can point to where Russia is going backwards and Ukraine is going forwards.
So look at the multi-year procurement in the 2027 NDAA. PAC-3 missiles. Where did we just hear that? THAAD, AMRAAM, Tomahawk. These are all missile interceptors or offensive weapons that are shot out of Patriot batteries. And my source in Ukraine, Contact, who will probably be joining us later this week, has told me he's gotten information that if the rate of attrition keeps happening like it is right now, Ukraine's defensive lines will collapse by September.
Well, I mean, that's why they're officially kidnapping women to serve. They're conscripting women now.
Oh, both sides do that, for sure, yeah. But Ukraine's getting desperate, and you'll most likely see Russia going for a knockout blow, Belarus enter the war, and then go after the other Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia. Remember what that billionaire was saying?
Yeah.
If Latvia gets invaded, I'm out of here. So you can see the stage being set up right now, even in this
kudos to
procurement.
Bak, too, because one of the first episodes that we ever did last month when we got in the new studio and got all set up, you said that was what was next in Ukraine. Massive escalation in Kiev, rumors, murmurings of a military coup within Ukraine as well. We haven't seen the military coup manifest explicitly, overtly yet, but we've certainly seen report after report over the course of the last several weeks of heavier attacks than ever before on Ukraine, on Kiev specifically from Russia. I mean, the drone strikes have been record-level drone strikes from Russia to Kiev. So the pressure is being ramped up 100%.
In multiple theaters, did you see that Iran just attacked U.S. bases in Kuwait?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, We have, I don't know if this is the exact clip. I believe it is, but I didn't 100% verify. But if we want to play 117 Iran attack on U.S. bases. I believe this just happened yesterday.
Yeah. Wow. That's massive.
Yeah, it's a big dick fucking.
Thanks so much.
As of 11 hours ago, Iran has called off all negotiations with the United States per the New York Post. But it's funny because this is from Leading Report on X. And 3 hours ago, they say a deal between the U.S. and Iran could happen this week per ABC News. So on our side, we keep exaggerating how close we are to an actual agreement or negotiation or peace deal with Iran. And what's coming straight from Iran is fuck you, no deal, fuck you, no deal over and over again. I don't think we're anywhere close to this conflict being over.
No, in Mace's Persian.
What's that got to do with it? But look, did you guys just see that apparently Trump like lost his shit on Netanyahu? Like this was very recent, I think an hour ago or something, or it might have been a little bit more than an hour. But apparently like he and Netanyahu, but see, to me, I feel like that's probably theatrics, but I don't know if you guys heard about
What,
that.
it was public?
Well, it's
Hey,
reported
Mace.
publicly.
I saw that and I heard that. And let me chime in on that. I think that's bullshit.